welcome to part 2 of our hiking. You guys can hear my dog because she's ready to go. She's like, let's go, guys, let's go. So today we are hiking Mount Hood. I'm gonna show you guys Juno because she is so excited and ready to go. Here's the baby. So we are gonna go to Mount Hood in Oregon. So let's get right into it. We're not gonna do a whole lot of intro. It's already 12, it's late, and I have plans to go to the Rose Festival tonight, so let's get this done. We're gonna go to Ramona, we're gonna drive, we're already charged up, we just got back, let's hit the road. So starting off with this waterfall, it wasn't honestly that far away, and that's kind of why I chose it this weekend, because I didn't feel like driving too far. I was kind of just like tired from, we drove from California the last time. Then we went to, I can't remember because we went to so many. Like, it's just been back and forth of different drives. And honestly, I love long drives. I like road tripping. I've told my friends, I've told my family, like, y'all ever want to go on a road trip? I'm your gal. But I was also just really exhausted because I am still working. I am full-time a student and full-time a worker in healthcare. So therefore, a girly needs a break. But I was like, no, I'm gonna do this hike. I want to give a few things like as an insight. This is Mount Hood, right? But it's not like I'm summiting. So the hikes that I'm doing aren't going to be the summits. I'm not a hiker. I don't have the hiking boots. I don't have the hiking backpack. I don't have the hiking water bottle for all of that. And honestly, I don't want to ever be that, like, no offense, selfish to go hiking that far, because I even say in this video how I had to pee in nature, and it felt very uncomfortable for me. And I'm not saying you're selfish if you want to go hike the summit. Like, by all means, God created this place. Go hike it. Go see what God created. But I also think that, like, if you wanted to go hike Mount Everest and you're like, we as taxpayers are putting our money into you being bored on a random Thursday night wanting to go hike a mountain that's literally doesn't need to be hiked, I find that selfish. And so even for this place, like, there was a lot of potholes, and when we entered the national forest, which made me think, like, okay, clearly a lot of people with big trucks have been here and have caused them, and the potholes were huge. Like, I didn't record it, but it was so bad I thought it was gonna bust my tire when we got up to here, just to this point specifically. And that being said, that lets me know that they don't want us here. That's okay. Let's not be here. But this drive was about an hour and 30 minutes getting there because of traffic. And then on the way back, it was about an hour and 10 minutes. I got Panda Express to fill up first, which I know wasn't the best idea, and you'll see why. We have officially made it to Ramona. It is 3.5 miles there and 3.5 back. So I'm going to try and track like every half mile or every mile. So it is 2:14 p.m. Let's see if I can get back before 8 p.m. So when we first got there, this is where we parked, and it was really pretty, just like even looking. I lost my voice, so this recording this week is gonna be horrible. After this, I got RSV, and it's because of the exposure of working in healthcare. Like, it's part of the gig. Unfortunate. Like, when I had RSV, it was so bad. Like, unfortunately, I was working with a client who was getting sick, and he got me sick. And honestly, it was so bad. Like, I ended up in the hospital. And I blamed this hike because I walked 10 miles. So I thought it was the hike's fault. But honestly, that was just on me. But anyways, so that flower I showed you guys, I don't know the name of them, but they are literally my favorite to see. And as you can see, Juno trying to come close to the edge. I kept checking, like, when we saw the river, to make sure it was going the right way, because I accidentally went the wrong way on a hike, and we ended up not even actually finishing the entire hike because of it. So yeah. At the end of mile 1, going into mile 2, I had to pee so bad, and it felt so bad. Oh, having to pee here. I know this is TMI, but this is the reality of, like, hiking. It's possible. I will say, if I didn't do voiceovers, all you would hear during my hikes is like, I'd be dying. Dead serious, I'd be dying. But I love it. Like, look how happy I am. Come on. So we're at 1.3 miles, and this is where we're at. There goes Juno. It's really windy, but it's honestly the perfect weather. We still got a lot to hike, but this is beautiful. Let's keep going. I remember seeing on the like map when we first like got there that there was gonna be like rapids or like places where you're gonna have to go like in the water, and make sure you go like before this time so that you don't like fall in or something. I don't know, or the water tide doesn't go faster, all these things. And I kind of ignored it because I didn't realize like, oh, I heeded the warning, but like I ignored it in the sense of like, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, literally not realizing we were gonna have to cross that bridge when we get there. It was pretty, but the water wasn't really high. But there was several times where like, look, as you can see, I am walking over sticks, and they're like tied together with twine or something at the end. And I'm like, one of these days, what if God just makes me the example? Like, not you, not your friend, not your cousin. No, he makes me the example. And I just, you know? And that's what my biggest fear was. Like, this one wasn't bad. Like, if I did fall, like, oh well, I got my legs wet. You know, like, this one would have made me mad. And the water was not going fast enough to where... For the first rapids, this is where we're at. And this is pretty. It is mile 1.5. Let's continue halfway to the falls. I assume there's some water down there, but we're not gonna go there. We're gonna hike up that way. I will say though, so the elevation that we were supposed to reach was 1,000, which we did. We reached 1,028. I will say I didn't realize like how high that really was. You know, like I didn't realize like, oh, that's 1,000 feet in the air, and we're already up high as it is. That's not what I was expecting. But as you can see, Juno was having the time of her life. She was just, I took her off the leash, which I know is like, why would you take your dog off the leash? That's bad, that's bad, that's bad. Yeah, well, I had to because my dog, I was pulling her when I was like, you know, like holding her on the leash, and that's not okay. Because like she was on my waistband. I don't have one of those like, I have the retractable leash. And so Juno, like, she is like, I want to go. So I just, like, I honestly took her off the leash and I let her do her thing. When there was, like, other dogs or other people, I made sure to grab her, of course. Like, she's small enough to where I could hold her. But she gets so small, she could fit into, like, tight spaces and stuff. So when we're on hikes, like, I let her walk first, you know. Like, it's broad daylight. So if there's a coyote or something that's going to come take her, like, obviously it's going to take me too. It's broad daylight, you know, like, it's going to take me as well. So I wasn't worried about her safety, more or less. And she is very verbal. She'll bark if she hears something, even a person. So I was just like not worried about that. Like she'll tell me. But as you can see here, this is like when we're really close. I didn't realize how close we really were, but like it was a very narrow path. Like one false move, you would have slid down and would have got hurt. And it was like this for about like, I would say 20 minutes now, like of just that thin arrow or like area. I would say like about 15-20 minutes. And I will say this hike was only supposed to be 3.5 miles. We went up to 10 miles. And I think that's because, you know, I went back to make sure my mom was okay. You know, we weren't at the same pace at the same time. But honestly, I'm not mad. I definitely could have done it quicker, but we started at 12 and we didn't get done until 6. And I wasn't mad. Like, honestly, it is what it is. It was really pretty. I do think it was worth it, but this is not one of those hikes where I would just be like, oh, let's just do it again. You know, like my mom found a stick on the side and she was using it as like to help her like stand ground and stuff because we don't have hiking boots. And I really don't see myself investing in hiking gear unless I'm like more serious about hiking, which I am. And this is when we got there. But it's just like, I'm not going to spend that much until I go to like Yosemite. But I'm going to let you guys hear the rain, or not the rain, sorry, but the waterfall because it was just so pretty and beautiful. So let me stop yapping. Juno, come here. Short little story time. I showed the guy with the backpack. You guys probably didn't see his face, thankfully. He was there before we got there. I don't know how long he was there before, but he was on the hike and I seen him a few times. He was trying to cross the rapids that I showed you guys the first time, but getting to the waterfall, and his golden retriever, like, they're not small dogs, and it couldn't make it over the bridge. And I felt so bad because I was like, I can just hold mine, and his dog was like stuck in the water trying to make it out. And I just felt so bad because I was just like, well, I can't help him because I'm not going to get wet. I don't have the right shoes and everything for that, you know. But and like, unfortunately, I have a small dog, so I will say, like, this is not the kind of he ended up going around, but it was like, yeah, his dog is soaked now from the water and everything. So I would say this is not necessarily a big dog friendly hike. Like, on the way back, so this is on the way back, it takes you a different way. It's a lot faster. But I will say, like, there's little creeks and stuff for like a small dog, yes. But for a big dog, I would not recommend this hike, and unless you're okay with like picking up your dog. And so even this, like, it was so pretty. We didn't see this on the way there. And I saw a lot of people on the way there coming back the same direction, which I guess if you want to get the full experience of the 3.5 miles there and back, cool. But for me, I didn't really care for that, especially when I was like already exhausted from just going up. And again, this is my first like deep dive hike through the mountains like this. I've done hikes before, and obviously you guys have seen my videos. I've done the Mount Shasta. Sorry, my voice is breaking again, but this was like the deepest, like the highest incline, you know, one I've done. My calves hurt afterwards, and I didn't go to the gym this week because I was sick, and I got sick again after, so it was just horrible. But like, you can see how pretty this was, and I saw someone climbing this rock, and I'm like, go girl, because I couldn't do that. But there was so many, like I said, bridges like this where it was like your dog is not going to like be able to walk in unless they're digging their hands into sorry, into the ground, like, and it's just, it wouldn't be nice to them. It wouldn't be great for them. Like, I will say the one thing that was really interesting about this was that you just going back, it was pretty too. Like, there was boulders, it was pretty too. I definitely think you should follow the right path. Do not go back the same way you came, because you'll be missing other views that you just weren't going to expect. But as you can see, like, Juno, she ends up walking this last bridge by herself, which is where it splits off. So this is a different path than the way we came. And then you, after I think about this bridge, is where it goes back to the path that you went. So like the original way you came, you meet in the middle. And it cut off a lot of the miles. So I think it cut off like maybe 1.5 miles, because we didn't do 3.5 back. It was like half of that. But going there, or no, I think I did 3.5 going back. But when I was going there, it was like I did 7 or 6 or 7 because, you know, I did 10 miles. After we cross that, we are done. Wait, Tanner. Let's get it to it. We made it across. One last mile. Now here is me showing you guys. I was at 8.5 right before leaving, and honestly, 10 out of 10. Bring water, but this is beautiful and I recommend it.